Okay, good morning students. Now today let's start the question answers of poem number 3 of Flamingo. As you know that what's the title of the chapter? Keeping Quiet, and this poem has been written by Pablo Neruda. The very first questions that based on this poem, the poet uses conversational style and personal pronouns as you, we and I because answer is what he wants to read out to the readers. Next one, the last line of the poem is what? And you keep quiet and I will. The third one is man needs to learn a lesson from. As I have already told you, the poet Pablo Neruda, he uses a symbolical example of the earth, that we should behave like a earth. Question number 4 is, according to the poet, war that are fought have no survivors. As I have already told you, there is no need of such war, a victory with no survivors. That means कि हमें इस तरह के युद्ध नहीं करने चाहिए जब हमारे बीच कोई बचे ही नहीं. Cold sea is a poetic device. What kinds of the poetic device of the cold sea? Transferred epithet. The next one is without us, without engines referred to. By this, the poet wants to say that we must maintain silence for a while. That means during this 1 minute, during this 1 second, while we need to count 1 to 12, we need complete silence. किसी भी तरह की आवाज़ नहीं होनी चाहिए. हमें सिर्फ इंट्रोस्पेक्शन हमें करनी चाहिए, आत्मनिरीक्षण. दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू क्रिएट म्यूचुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग. द 7 number क्वेश्चन इज, द पोएट वॉन्ट्स द इंटायर ह्यूमैनिटी टू वॉट? आंसर, टू मेंटेन साइलेंस, टू कीप स्टिल. एंड द क्वेश्चन नंबर 8, हैव नो ट्रक विथ डेथ. मीन्स हियर इन दिस क्वेश्चन द पोएट सेज डैट मैं जो बता रहा हूँ आपको शांत रहने के लिए, इंट्रोस्पेक्शन करने के लिए, ये डेथ से बिल्कुल डिफर है. हैव नो एसोसिएशन और डील विथ डेथ. Question number 9, the poet advocates the balance of nature to be, answer is what? Maintained. Question number 10, what does man threaten himself with? Obvious, the man threaten himself with death. The next one questions, where would they be walking? In the shade. The types of war the poet talks about are, as we are engaged in different kinds of the wars, so the poet giving the example of the green wars, wars with gas and wars with fire. A very symbolical example again given in the question number 13, fisherman in the cold sea would not harm. What? Fisherman used to harm the whales. By this, the poet wants to say we must control our destructive attitude and the activities. Now next one is what? What kind of a moment would it be when everyone is silent? Really, in modern era, it's quite exotic moment that when we maintain silence. This one is the saying of Pablo Neruda. Question number 15, the poet appealed to the readers to keep quiet for not for a long time. हमें शांत रहना है for 1 to 12. That means for only 1 second. Now next question is what? What can human beings learn from nature? Obvious, working with silence. Without making silence, we should do work. Next one, what symbol from nature the poet uses to prove that keeping quiet is not total inactivity? Giving the example, giving the symbolical example of nature and earth. 18 number questions, how will silence benefit the man and the nature? The answer is what? Man will stop hurting nature and both will heal themselves. 19 number questions, while gathering salt, what will happen to the man if he keeps silent for a moment? Answer is what? He will think of the salt is doing to his hands. That means the poet suggests us we should try not to harm ourselves. We should stop these activities by giving the example of gathering salt man. The last one is what? Why is the poet asking everyone not to speak any language? To avoid conflicts, war, quarrelsome and misunderstanding. So my dear students, you should understand all the question answer, objective based question answers of this poem. Thank you very much. I think you must understand this poem in a good way. Keep watching this one.